everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome in if this is your first time being here. My name is Melissa. My channel is called Empowered Gems Tarot. And in today's reading, we're going to be looking ahead into the month of January 2026. So we're going to be working with both tarot and charms today to get a full message for you around what is happening this upcoming month ahead as we enter into the new year. Remember that this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so messages may vary in how specifically they'll resonate with each individual viewer out there. Everybody's situation is going to be a little bit different, so don't try to make a message fit for you if it's not really fitting as you're watching the reading. As a best practice, just release it, let it go. Understand that in these collective readings, we have a pretty wide audience viewing. Sometimes messages are more tailored to others out there in the collective versus us. Not everything in these general readings is going to apply to everyone super specifically. If you guys did want to book a personal reading with me, the link to my website is in the description box down below. Personal readings can be a much better way to get a more specific and accurate read on your own personal energy within your situation. Okay. And with all of that being said, we will now go ahead and select your reading. So we have a choice between 3 today. If you're drawn to reading 1, we have this Divine Temple card with kind of like a clear quartz crystal here. Okay. If you're drawn to reading 2, we have the Moonstone card. And if you're drawn to reading 3, we have this clear quartz card. So I want you guys to take a deep breath. Think about this upcoming month of January and what you need to know. Go ahead and select the card or crystal that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. See you there. Hey group 1, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Divine Temple card, this is going to be your message. So we're going to start your reading for January with your Oracle and Tarot reading, and then we will transition into charms and dice. I always have the charms and dice timestamped in the description box below, so in case any of you guys like to skip ahead to that portion first or only watch that portion, you'll be able to do that here. So overall energy for you this month, group 1, we have Divine Temple Source. We have Saturn and Gemini in the 3rd. Concentration. And then we also have Sun and Taurus in the 2nd, acquisition. Okay, we're going to start here. We'll kind of build off of these in just a moment. Okay, so group 1, this is what I'm kind of feeling overall for you this month as we kind of jump into this reading here. I think with this source energy coming up, this is going to be a month where you guys are much more connected to source, meaning you're connected to your higher self, you're connected to spirit, you're listening to your intuition, you're paying attention to the signs, synchronicities, gut feelings that you are receiving. And I feel in becoming more attuned to this area of life, you're going to be able to move forward with much more clarity and alignment, almost like moving forward in a much more, from a place of like authenticity, maybe in a way that you guys haven't been able to do in the recent past. Okay, so highly connected to spirit, highly connected to source. A lot of you guys could be having dreams or getting like spiritual downloads or messages that are helping to guide you forward. And I feel specifically when it comes to, 3rd house energy, this is around like communication and thoughts. There's a huge focus this month on elimination of distractions. With Saturn being here in the 3rd house, this is like, I need to really buckle down on my communication. I need to really buckle down on my thoughts. I need to make sure that I am disciplined in the way that I'm moving about things here. And especially with this card saying concentration, right? It's like you're trying to do everything that you can to eliminate any unnecessary distractions so that you can move forward with this clarity of information that you are receiving from spirit. I feel like for a lot of you guys, there could be something to do with values, money, finances, maybe even your career that's connected to this as well with the Sun in Taurus in the 2nd, right? So with acquisition, there could be something that you guys value that you are looking to achieve this month Hence why it's going to be super important for you to be able to concentrate and eliminate those distractions. And, Saturn energy, it is disciplined energy. So depending on how you look at it, right? Some people think Saturn is bad because it's like restricting us. But I tend to think Saturn's actually a really beneficial planet, even though it can bring challenge and it can push you to be responsible in certain ways. It really does bear amazing fruit at the end of the cycle, right? Because you're almost prolonging, like you're kind of refining something, or you're becoming better at something. And so it's sort of like the balance of sacrificing short-term gratification for long-term fulfillment and long-term really positive beneficial results here. So it feels intentional though. Like I don't really sense a lot of negativity around this, like you feel as though something's being taken from you. It really just feels more like we are in a space of really buckling down and trying to move with intention toward our goal, eliminating any distractions here. Okay. And I think, again, for a lot of you, this could be financial in nature. It could also be maybe there's something to do with a partnership here, whether romantic or otherwise, that is significant too. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep going. We have action. So there's movement here. You guys are increasing the pace towards something. But, something that's really interesting to me that I'm noticing is the two horses that are here. We have the one horse that's like bolting forward really quickly, and the other horse that's kind of like more paced out. And the paced out, like slower pace, is more the Saturn energy. So I think there is this duality this month, group one, where you're excited about something, you have passion and energy towards something, but we're tempering that through our communication, our action, our thoughts, the way we're expressing ourselves, and kind of understanding that slow but steady wins the race in this case. And I think with this sun in Taurus, if you guys are going after something that you really value, it makes sense, right? Because it's almost this energy of like wanting to do it the correct way versus the fast way. Something else that could be coming up here too for you guys this month with the sun in the second in Taurus, maybe there's also, Taurus can be an energy where it really likes luxury. It really likes sensory, luxurious experiences. Sometimes those experiences can cost a lot of money, right? So maybe for some of you guys, there's also something around eliminating excess when it comes to what you're spending your resources on. We have spread your wings. Do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you're ready to soar. So there's also sort of a tie-in, I think, to you guys breaking free of something. And I think, again, this is where this horse running is coming from, right? There's something that you're able to move towards that's positive for you, that you do value, that you're acquiring as a resource for yourself. But there is this tempered energy of like, let me do it the correct way. Let me be structured. Let me be disciplined about it, which is really exciting. Horses do represent freedom, right? Being able to be free and wild and running around however you want, right? So there's definitely something about this. The word authenticity is coming up. I think we were getting a little bit of that earlier. It's like whatever messages you guys are receiving from source, from spirit, it's helping you to move forward in a more authentic and aligned way for you, okay? So let's continue group one. What else, Spirit, does group one need to know about the month ahead? Ooh, we have the star coming through. The Empress. The World. Oh my gosh. This is amazing, you guys. And then we have the Knight of Spears, which is the Knight of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. So there's something like fast. There's something that's coming in fast with this action card. And I feel like for some of you guys, coming into this month with the star, this is from The Wizard of Oz. Remember in the movie where she falls asleep in the poppy fields and Glinda has to come in and I think she's making it snow so that the flowers die and that they can all wake up and come out of their slumber that these poppy fields induced for them, right? So there is a lot of like dreaming that you guys have been doing, maybe visualizing of a better future for yourself or of this goal. But I think this month comes the time where like you're snapping out of those visualizations and now you're having to take action, okay? Whatever has been keeping you metaphorically, I don't want to say asleep because I don't feel like you guys have been asleep. But the interesting aspect of the star is that it can talk of healing and renewal, but it can also talk of when we are sort of just hoping for something better and not necessarily taking that aligned action. And I feel very much that there's something coming in this month where you're going to be pushed to take aligned action and to really buckle down and focus on what you want to do moving forward to achieve this freedom that you're going for here. We also have the Empress card coming up, right? So there could be something creative about this for some of you where like maybe you're creating something here. You're nurturing something, you're growing something. But it's kind of interesting, right? Because it's like we start off the month with you guys dreaming in full color. Then we kind of have this transition from the black and white energy into a new beginning with more color. So it's almost like you guys, I think, are very comfortable where you are, right? But there's something about it that might be having you wanting more, having you curious for more, wanting to acquire more for yourself, right? Even when we look at this is like Auntie M from The Wizard of Oz, and she's very comfortable. She's built this home. She's like a very traditional woman, right? In that story, from what I remember. It's been a while since I've read the book. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with her life that she's built, but I feel like you guys are wanting more, especially when we see the world. So there's a chapter closing, a chapter that you guys maybe once felt very comfortable in and that you are very comfortable in, and there's a new path opening up for you with more color, more vibrancy. You're acquiring something of value. So again, for some of you, this could be getting like a new job or just embarking on a new journey, a new path. So let's see. What we're gonna do next, I'm gonna take a look at one card for career, one card for love. Then we're gonna transition into your charms group 1 so we can try to see a little more details here for you. So what's up for career for group 1 this month, please, Spirit? We have influence. Use your influence for change. You may do public speaking, social videos, or interviews. Your voice and opinions are important. So you guys might be stepping into a more like public-facing sort of role. Maybe this is what you guys are taking action toward this month, something that allows you to have the spotlight, something that feels more inspiring to you, something more public-facing, okay? It's getting you out of the house, metaphorically, getting out of the comfort zone. You also have connections, build bridges between people. Contact those who can help you. Your actions set you up for the next opportunity. So really, this could be something where you're building your network, relying on connections to get you to where you want to be. Okay, let's take a look at love. And we will be getting more info, like I was saying, in the charms. So anything that group 1 should know about their romantic love life or just love in general this month, please, Spirit, for January. January energy and love for group 1. And we will have a separate love reading. Okay, we have the energy of honeymoon phase, attending someone's wedding. That's kind of interesting, right? There could be travel this month. For some of you, maybe you're taking a short trip or just a trip in general. Again, there is like this element of partnership that I see here in this card, right? And so maybe for some of you, there is, like you're in the honeymoon phase with someone. Maybe that's the new path you guys are entering into here. Maybe going from being single to being in a relationship with someone that you value, with Taurus energy being here. But that honeymoon phase sort of tells me that there's a period in love this month where things are feeling really good. It's kind of those early stages where things feel very the star. And maybe there's literal travel for some of you or attending a wedding for others. Something else that I'm picking up on that I just noticed, which I think is a really interesting synchronicity here with the star. Did you guys notice there's also a star here in this card? So there's something I think about you guys with your communication being very diligent and disciplined with your networking, because the star here is inside of this web, right, that a spider has created. And we know that what a web does, what does it do? It catches things on behalf of the spider. So the spider doesn't have to go out and physically do all this exertion to hunt. It creates the right conditions for the opportunities to come to them. And so that, I think, is a big part of what you guys will be benefiting from this month, is building up that network, right? So that opportunities will just come to you and you don't necessarily have to go out there and work really hard to get them. Okay, it's like work smarter, not harder through your networking and your connections. Okay, so group one, what I'm going to do next is clear the cards, and we're going to take a look at charms. Okay, group one, super excited to see what is happening when we get into your charms and dice. Whoops. All right, let's start with the with the dice. So Spirit, what else does group one need to know about January? Okay. Leo energy coming through. We do have Mercury sort of here, so we're going to take that, and then let's pull a few charms. Okay. January energy for group one, please, Spirit. Okay. So let's see what we've got going on. Okay, this one was not anywhere. Interesting. Okay. So, where do I want to start? Well, I definitely see a connection here with the money, the second house, the Taurus energy that we had in your tarot, group one. We have the cat here. Cats have to do with independence. And then we also have a key. So this is really interesting because when it comes to your finances and your wealth this month, it seems like you guys could be unlocking some information, or again, your overall message was about source, right? Maybe you're even receiving some sort of spiritual insight or realization that is allowing you to become more financially independent. Okay. And that can mean a lot of different things. It doesn't necessarily have to mean you're getting like a ton of money up front. Maybe for some of you that's the case. It could just be that you're learning how to be more independent in the way that you manage your finances, or going about things in a way that sets you up for success in the future, right? So remember, we got this image of like the building the network to catch opportunity. That could be a strategy that you guys are applying to your financial situation as well as career or other matters that you're navigating through this month. So that's really awesome. Definitely some spiritual insights coming to you this month about finances, your value, and your self-worth as it pertains to your relationship with money. Okay. Now, this is interesting because we have a couple things coming up under your health and well-being. When I think of this section of this little chart here that we use for charms, the charm board rather, I always think of the sixth house in astrology, which has to do with, it does have to do with like our health, our well-being, but it also can have to do with like our day-to-day routine. And if you think about it, that makes sense, right? Because our daily routine definitely impacts our health, right? And our well-being. You guys have the letter J coming up here. So maybe this could be somebody's initials or an initial of something of significance connected to this area of life for you. But we also have Leo. And I want to flag that you guys had gotten something about being an influencer for your career this month, right? And so Leo energy is very that. It is the energy of authentic expression of self. It is going to be someone who radiates as a leader, someone that stands out, somebody that other people look up to, right? For leadership, guidance, inspiration, and so on and so forth. I definitely see that coming through and being able to impact your health and well-being in a positive way. Now, for others of you, this could be about you taking the lead on these areas as well, advocating for yourself a little bit more. A Leo is definitely not going to be somebody who stands down. This is going to be somebody who stands up and kind of rises to the occasion. So there could be some of that energy just being infused into your health and well-being in general, whether it's like, okay, I need to take the lead on my health, or I need to take the lead on this fitness routine, or whatever it is. But I think for a lot of you, that influencer energy and career is actually coming through in your day-to-day routine a little bit more. You guys have the letter X here under social life. So a couple things I'm getting from this. I would watch for ex-friends or ex-partners coming back around this month. I just think of that with the letter X being here. The letter X, though, could also, I think of commitments, right? I think of signing on the dotted line. So there could be something that you guys commit to this month around your social life or others that's more, it's more official for some. But for others of you, watch to see if there might be some exes that come back around, ex-friends, ex-partners, something along those lines. Ex-connections that you didn't think would be back. But you guys have some really interesting energy coming up in love as well this month, love and partnership. So we've got a star here, which talks about our hopes and dreams. And then we do also have Mercury's energy being here. And actually, let me just check one thing with the star, because there's a lot of different star charms. So I want to make sure I'm getting the right interpretation for you guys on this one. The star, dream fulfillment. Wow. Okay. So I definitely think there is a love theme here for a lot of you guys. Now it could be like business for some, but we don't really have much happening in the career portion of your charms. So I think for a lot of you, this is like dream fulfillment as it pertains to a romantic partnership, right? And maybe there's something around the communication piece that is particularly satisfying for you or fulfilling for you. And again, remember, we did have these cards coming up where we're focusing on elimination of distractions. We're focusing on, productive communication practices, responsible communication practices. And we have this acquisition energy, Sun in Taurus, and we have a little couple here, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys are, because you value somebody a lot, maybe there's a partnership here that you really value that's being spotlit this month. Maybe this is somebody who really mirrors values that you hold, or vice versa. Their dream fulfillment energy, this partnership. So there's like a duty that I get to this of like, let me eliminate distractions. Let me make sure I'm not talking to other people. Let me give this person my undivided attention through communication. Like there's a responsibility that I get of wanting to really make sure that we take care of this. Okay. Very interesting, group one. So to close it out, we do have a couple things here in advice. So we've got the little navigation wheel. We do also have the little teddy bear. This has to do with childhood trauma. So I think that there is a message here around watching for old patterns, old triggers, and just making sure that you're aware of them and you're navigating through them accordingly with the tools that you have. And maybe that's where health and well-being is coming through, right? Like maybe some of you guys are in therapy, you're talking about these things openly, owning those things with Leo, right? It could also be a fear of being seen for some of you in partnership. Like maybe this person is somebody who really sees you or who really celebrates you or amplifies you, and maybe that makes you feel a little uncomfortable, right? So there could be a lot of different things here coming up, but they're just kind of saying that there's going to be some stuff that may come up, little triggers or just little things from childhood that will kind of be guiding you subconsciously, unless you guys choose to really tune in and make sure that you're aware of what they are, not necessarily letting your inner child wounds guide you, but being able to kind of observe them for what they are and then be able to navigate according to the healing that you've done. Hopefully that makes sense. But this looks like a really interesting month, group one. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys have planned? What do you guys think this is referring to for you? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next reading really soon. Bye. Hello, group two. Welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Moonstone card, this will be your message. So we're looking into what's ahead for you in January. We'll be doing both tarot and charms today. So if any of you like to skip ahead to the charms, I'll have that timestamp below so you can skip there a little sooner if you would like. So overall energy for you this month, group two, we have Moonstone cycles. We have Moon in Gemini in the third, adaptability. And then we have Jupiter in Sagittarius in the ninth, principle. Okay. Come to these in a moment. All right. So with the energy of Moonstone being here with cycles, this is super interesting. I feel like for a lot of you, there could be some sort of maybe a repeat cycle or a new cycle. We'll see as we kind of get into this, but I feel like it's a new cycle for a lot of you with Moonstone, because Moonstone has to do with us like going within, kind of tapping into our feminine energy, creating something, giving birth to something new. You guys have a lot of expansive energy here as well with Jupiter being here, which is why I feel like maybe it's not necessarily something you're repeating. And even if it is, I feel like there's like a new take on it or a new approach to it from the past. I would also pay attention as well, group two, if any of you, like there could be some connection to your feminine cycle for some of you, if that applies. that could be significant here as well. Kind of like syncing with the moon, or experiencing certain things closer to that time of the month that are resonant to you. So just be mindful of that. But what I kind of feel is there's an expansiveness here with Jupiter in the 9th in Sag, with something to do with your belief systems, your principles, your values. There could even be something here connected to travel. You know, the 9th house has to do with longer distance travel or foreign travel. The 3rd house is travel as well, but it's more short distance. So we have that axis here, the 3rd and the 9th. So there could be something connected to shorter distance travel, drives, short trips, but also longer distance travel over flights or overseas or things like that that could be significant. But these two houses also deal with, as I was saying, belief systems, higher education, expansiveness in our thoughts. 3rd house having to do with like school, right? Like education, like elementary education when we're younger, things like that. But also the way that we communicate and the way that we the way we communicate, whether it's like verbal, written, and so on and so forth. This card can also, the 3rd house can also have to do with like siblings or sibling-like relationships. So there could be something connected to that for this month for some of you as well. So anyway, to kind of summarize what I said, I feel like there's some sort of a new cycle, a new cycle that's opening up around communication and expansiveness in your knowledge, your beliefs, your philosophy, and maybe even travel here as well. I feel too with the keywords, we have adaptability and principle. So there's something about your principles that I think are growing or expanding this month, but there's still, I think, a need for you to be flexible, because I feel like there could be other people involved or other beliefs to consider, right? And so you are going to have to find some flexibility in your principles. Okay, we've got adjacent possibilities, which makes a lot of sense with this adaptability energy. So I think for some of you guys, maybe you're wanting something in particular this month. You're after a goal. There's something that you're looking to, maybe you are looking for an exit ramp off of a current path, right? But there's, again, it's like this new revival in the way that you're going about it. This month is about exploring some adjacent possibility. So maybe it's not getting the specific path that you want or the specific thing that you want. It's about exploring some of these other things that pop up along the way that can actually assist you in getting you to where you want to be ultimately, right? So I guess I just feel this group really trying to keep an open mind and really trying to stay curious as they explore these different opportunities on their path. We also have Beloved One. I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship, Archangel Shamuel. So if there is a partnership relationship, maybe a sibling or acquaintance or coworker like relationship that's difficult, I do feel this month that Spirit is assisting you. Your angels are assisting you. For others of you, if you're in this reading, you're like, what about my romantic love life? Maybe for those of you that are single, I think that this is a message that, that's being worked on behind the scenes, right? But any sort of relationship conflicts this month, I do think that there is support that you guys are receiving from Spirit. And I think a big part of what is helping you is remaining flexible and remaining curious. I think a lot of times it's like when we dig in on things and we're not, open and receptive to others' points of view, that's when we can hit a wall, right? So I definitely feel you all kind of being nudged in that direction of flexibility as it pertains to your relationships this month. Okay. So let's continue group 2. What else, Spirit, does group 2 need to know about this upcoming month of January? The Hanged Man. Interesting. Okay. We have the Two of Brooms. This is the Two of Wands. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let's just get one. And then we also have the Nine of Bricks, which is the Nine of Pentacles. Really nice. And then look, we do have a Two of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. And this is really interesting, right? Because in this depiction of the Two of Cups, we see the Tin Man trying to oil himself, but then he's getting help from Dorothy as well. So maybe that's kind of a core theme here, coming up with this beloved one, right? Where maybe for some of you, you've been needing help. Maybe you've been doing it all on your own, and maybe this month we're getting someone that's coming in to help us, or vice versa. Maybe we're helping someone else. And part of doing that helps us along our path here. But I feel like you guys, there's definitely like a new shift in perspective that I see with this adjacent possibility energy, because I feel with the Hangman that you guys might be feeling a little bit stuck coming into the month. Like there is a desire for an off-ramp here that I feel. And again, when I look at this Hangman, you notice how this is the only color that's in black and white, or the only card that's in black and white rather. And there's a lot of chaos and stuff happening around him, but he's still kind of choosing to stay stuck. Not saying you guys are choosing to stay stuck. It is a stubborn energy sometimes, the Hangman, so just bear that in mind if it resonates for you. But I think what this is really talking about is like whatever situation you guys are in with this Moonstone, I feel like maybe you've outgrown it a little bit. It's too small for you. There's this shift from the 3rd to the 9th, from the smaller world to a larger world, to broadening your horizons here. And so I think what's happening toward the beginning of this month, group 1, is that you guys are starting to shift your perspective on something, which is opening you up to some additional possibilities that maybe you had not considered before. And with the Two of Wands being here, this provides a lot of options. There's a lot more options or opportunities out there for you than maybe you had initially imagined before you took this pause. Okay, so it may not be that we are, making any big decisions this month. In fact, I don't really think that you are. I think this is more of a month where we're kind of sensing, we're exploring, we're sort of like dipping our toe into certain things, being curious about certain things before we choose, which path we're going to take moving forward to get us off this ramp that we're on now. Ending up with the 9 of Pentacles, which is a beautiful energy because this does talk about, financial and physical independence. So I do think that there is something very comfortable for you this month in that area. Maybe some of you guys do choose a path that leads to this abundance for you, that also allows you some expansion in your philosophy, in your beliefs, in your travel, and that's going to be compensating you really, really well. But if that's not the case, I think this month really you guys are just going to be exploring these additional possibilities, trying new opportunities, seeing what feels the most expansive for you with the Two of Wands and Jupiter being here, and feeling just really comfortable and abundant. Okay, so let us continue. Group 2. So let's get a career card and a love card, and then we will move into your charms. So group 2. Okay, so we got this card that flew right out of the deck. Moving up, you're increasing your power and status. You may get a promotion or move to a better home or office. You climb the ladder of success. Yes, you guys. And then we also have this energy of beginning. It's a good time to start a new job or a whole new career. You have creative ideas that get noticed, build a nest egg for the future. Beautiful. Yep, I think that you guys are choosing a path of elevation for yourselves. And it makes so much sense moving from this more kind of short distance travel, like elementary education, or early education, to the energy of expansion and longer distance foreign travel, higher education. It doesn't have to mean it's literally playing out that way, but what I'm trying to get at is that wherever you guys have been, it's almost like you've mastered that. You've been here long enough. Maybe you felt stagnant here for a little while, and you're now choosing a path that moves you up, that elevates you to a higher status, that's going to be very expansive to your learning, your knowledge, your values, your philosophy, right? And that also could be bringing an increase in financial prosperity for you as well. Okay, so let's take a look at your love energy next, and then we will move into charms. So what does group 2 need to know about love this month, please, Spirit? We have distance. You and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. Okay. So we do have date night. Be ready to be wined and dined. So I'm getting a couple messages here. And again, we'll do a love reading specifically for January 2. So be on the lookout for that. I think for some of you, you could literally be in a long distance relationship and maybe travel is involved here, where you have to actually go somewhere farther away to be able to connect with this person. But for others of you, I think this is more like what I was getting for those of you that are maybe single and you're wanting to know, like, where is my future partner? This beloved one, this distance energy, I think this is significant. I feel like Spirit is saying your person could be at a distance from you or could be coming in time, right? Maybe they don't live where you live right now, but maybe there's something about this expansive place that you're moving into that's going to be connecting you with them. And I come back to this. We have the Two of Cups here. I think for some of you, because this is you right here, I almost wonder for some of you, yeah, it's like you're going to meet this person on this new path, I feel. And maybe they are healing. Maybe they have a big heart, but they're like afraid of showing it because when they've shown it in the past, it's caused problems for them. Like he's all rusted from crying, right? So that's kind of an interesting synchronicity that I'm getting. Or like maybe there's something about this distance where it's like your evolution in whatever this space is that you're in, your career, whatever, it's actually putting you on path to be able to cross paths with this person. So what we're going to do, group 2, I'm going to clear the cards and we're going to get into charms to see what additional insights we can get for you. All right, group 2. So let's continue with your reading. I want to see the dice first and then we'll get into charms. So Spirit, what else should group 2 know about the upcoming month of January? Okay. All right, so we've got a lot. Ooh, we have a lot of stuff happening. Ooh, I'm excited for you guys. Okay, lots in career, lots in your social life coming up. All right, let's pull some charms and then we'll get into this. So what else, Spirit, does group 2 need to know about January for them? Okay. Let's see. One thing that I do want you guys to watch out for is making sure that you're being very careful not to overlook things with your money. You guys have actually some new opportunity here. So this really aligns with that Nine of Pentacles. This is the element of earth that is shown here for you, okay? So this is a very grounded energy. It also is giving me the vibe of like you being able to plant a seed and cultivate. And I think with the unicorn here, this is beautiful in a sense that maybe it feels like a dream come true in a lot of ways. Maybe there's some sort of a spiritual energy here with the key where this feels very spiritually connected and aligned with you, which makes sense with Moonstone. But I just want you guys to make sure with the unicorn that you're seeing it clearly and not being delulu about your money, okay? The key here says that there is a spiritual insight being unlocked here around finances and wealth, or that you kind of have the key to unlocking whatever info you need to be able to move forward and invest the way that you need to. So just make sure that you're watching that with the unicorn. Nothing negative, just be mindful, okay? Career stuff is really expanding for you guys. So we have an X here. To me, there's one of two messages. I feel like you guys could be either going back to like an old job or an old company or an old group that you worked with before, because X makes me think of like X's from the past. But the other thing that I'm getting from this is commitment, signing on the dotted line, signing a contract, the mark of some new agreement here in your career. And this with Jupiter and the second house being here, this is definitely bringing an increase in your money, in your wealth, in your abundance, in your resources. Jupiter here, it kind of echoes what we got in your cards, right? It's very expansive. So you guys could be getting more money, but also getting more access or exposure to education, learning, travel, and things like that. The other piece that I was getting from this, if we come back to it, I almost feel like you guys could be moving into an area where you're going to be really viewed as a subject matter expert or someone who provides guidance to others. So that could be significant too. Like maybe your reach is further here. So it's really exciting. Now, we also have some stuff coming up here with your social life and with others. So we have Cancer here. Cancer is connected to home and family, and I do feel like there are some actual like some changes here with home and family. Like there's something you're navigating through. We have the letter D here. That could be dad. It could be somebody's initials. Take it as it resonates for you. But I think there's some navigating that you're doing with home and family, maybe some change that's coming, or just navigating, generally speaking, with this initial here. But Cancer is sort of that home and family energy, and it's coming up in social life and others. So it could literally be family, could even just be soul family stuff that's coming up here that you're navigating through this month. Now, you guys have the waning crescent moon. Okay. This has to do with restoration and relaxation. So I think that maybe there's some things with social life, maybe with family, that are winding down this month, that you're kind of pulling back your energy from this month, getting some rest and recovery time. We also have the number 3, which has to do with creative expression. So there could be some creative stuff that you're embarking on this month with others. Maybe you're pulling back your energy from certain groups so that you can invest more time in your creative endeavors. Maybe you're, for some of you, you're doing something creative that gets you around others, that kind of builds up that soul family, but it feels very zen for you. It's like my social life is more of my relaxing and my escape versus something that's really chaotic this month is kind of the vibe that I get. So lots of different things there. Okay. Again, something you're navigating through with home and family. We also have some stuff coming up here under health and well-being. So we've got the clothespin, the clam, and we have the cross. So the clothespin, this has to do with securing and holding something down. Okay. The cross has to do with hardships, forgiveness, unconditional love. I also think of sacrifice when I think of that. And then you guys have the little seashell. And so the seashell can talk about beauty. Okay, so maybe you guys are kind of focusing on your aesthetic this month, which I love for you. So maybe being a little bit more disciplined or diligent in your physical beauty, your physical aesthetic as it pertains to health and well-being. So maybe some of you guys are working out more, which is resulting in a more beautiful aesthetic, in your opinion, right? Maybe some of you guys are investing money in your physical appearance this month. Again, we have second house energy here. You know, the 9 of Pentacles was giving me kind of a glow up energy too. Where'd she go? Right? Like this is definitely giving me glow up energy. Like I have a little extra money to spend on my hair, my beauty, maybe some, I don't know, little like procedure, something that you guys want to do to upgrade your aesthetic here. Securing and holding that down. And maybe there is some sort of a sacrifice that comes with that. You know, that's really interesting too, because the hangman is kind of mirroring that energy for me. So maybe that's a part of this too. The theme this month too is sort of, maybe there's a beauty procedure that you're getting done that kind of takes you guys out of commission for a little while, and you got to kind of be on pause from other things. Finally, we do have under spirit and self, the Christmas tree. This talks about joy, which is so beautiful, you guys. So I feel like this month, Spirit is just kind of saying, make sure that you're honed in on your own joy, your celebration, things that bring you emotional fulfillment. Maybe there's an element of you just finding joy in just being by yourself, right? And I kind of feel that, like, there's definitely something about family or social life or other people where you're kind of phasing out of that this month or taking a little break from it and finding more joy in your independence, which again makes a lot of sense with the 9 of Pentacles. You know, so if you guys have been exiting the holiday season feeling drained by your family or feeling drained by, you know, groups that you've been associated with, I do see you kind of recouping some time to be able to just be by yourself and to find joy on your own while focusing on these endeavors in your career and your finances and your beauty routine. Okay. So it looks really cool, really exciting month, group 2. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about what you guys are planning. I'll see you in the next reading really soon, okay? Bye. Hey, group 3, welcome to your reading. So today we're going to be looking into what is ahead for you in the month of January using tarot and charms. I will have the charms portion of your reading timestamped in the description box below in case you guys like to skip ahead to that a little quicker. But let's go ahead and jump into your tarot. Overall energy, we've got Soul Connection Crystal Lovers coming through. I already feel excited about that for you. We've got, what is this? Venus in the 6th house in Virgo, discrimination. Okay. And then we also have Sun and Leo in the 5th, fortune. All right, group 3. So what is up for you guys this month? Well, with this card kind of being the central energy, I definitely feel like there is an emphasis this month on love, whether it be like self-love, romantic love, business partnerships. I can definitely see like both career and romance kind of being intertwined here for some of you, or maybe this love energy is a core theme across all areas of life is basically what I'm getting at here. You guys could be receiving more clarity this month around relationships of significance. Maybe there's someone new being revealed to you. Maybe you're seeing current connections in your life more clearly. But this card really is about becoming more clear and aligned with our soul connections that are around us every day. And just as a reminder, not all soulmates are romantic, right? Sometimes they are. Sometimes a friend can be a soulmate, a coworker can be a soulmate, a parent can be a soulmate, and so on and so forth. You guys get what I mean. Now, I definitely feel for those of you where love is significant this month, like romantic love, I do feel there could be a connection to love at work. Because we have Venus in the 6th house in Virgo. And so Venus in the 6th, this does tell me there's like more beauty being infused into your day-to-day work and day-to-day routines. And there could be, again, that love, Venus is love, right? In your day-to-day, in your work, something along those lines. We also have Sun and Leo in the 5th. So 5th house can also have to do with dating, relationships, like short-term relationships, or maybe not short-term, but just like romantic relationships or love affairs could be significant here, as well as children. So those could be some significant themes for those of you out there as well. But let's just kind of, I feel like I'm going into all the different things it could be. Let me just kind of give you the vibe of what I get from this overall to summarize. I feel like you guys are coming into the month, you're getting some sort of much deserved recognition for hard work that you have been putting in up until this point. The sun in the 5th in Leo definitely shows me that you're put in the spotlight. And it's not because of just like something frivolous. I think you guys have been working really hard. You've been positioning yourself really well. And so you're getting like an award, or you're getting an achievement, or some sort of positive public recognition for a job well done. Okay. And with Virgo energy being here, 6th house, this does have to do with your work, your day-to-day routine, something along those lines as well. But it's interesting, right? Because I think that this month you guys are going to start becoming a lot more selective about who you connect with. So again, whether this has to do with love or work, with discrimination being here, I don't like that word, right? Maybe that's something some of you are going through this month, or that's something you've faced. When I look at this word in the context of what I'm seeing here so far, I feel like this is more about like you guys being more selective about who you're connecting to day to day, whether that's in your day-to-day routine, your work, your career, whatever it is. We're being a bit more picky and selective about who we're associating ourselves with because of this achievement, this positive recognition that you're receiving, or this position that you're given. But again, I just think there's still something with your love life in here. So we have strategy coming through. Okay, so this tells me that there's a plan, right? There's a plan, and that makes sense with Virgo. You know, Virgo is very meticulous. It is mutable earth, you know, so there's some sort of seeds that you've been planting, or some sort of, it's like there's something, I think it's already been planted coming into this month, group 3, because I feel like you're getting the recognition for this strategy. And there's something with these butterflies here. I keep being drawn to the butterflies. Butterflies have to do with change and transformation. And so it's like you guys have been doing something leading up to this month that's getting you recognition, that's creating some positive change in your surroundings, in your day-to-day routine. And I think there's been some strategizing to get here up until this point. We also have outdoors. Go outside, get some fresh air, connect with nature to relieve stress, and gain new creative ideas. So maybe she's out in nature here too. So maybe that's a big component of this month. Spending time in nature could be a way that you guys are decompressing from your day-to-day. Maybe that's a part of creating a bit more of a balanced routine for yourself outside of your work. Where I live, it's cold. I don't know how much going outside I'll be doing, but maybe some of you like the cold weather, you know, or don't live in a cold climate so you can be outside more comfortably. Okay, let's continue. Group 3 to know about this month ahead of January? Okay, so we've got Judgment. Interesting. Ooh, we have the Tower. Okay. And then we also have the Two of Pentacles coming through as well. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Knight of Brooms. This is the Knight of Wands. So something fast. Something coming in quickly. So lots of big change here. Group 3. Okay. So I think that you guys are kind of starting off this month. You are in a good position here with the Sun in Leo in the 5th. But there's something here where you're being asked to elevate or maybe rise up to something different. Judgment can talk about when something in our life is up for review, up for renewal, and it's our decision now to decide, like, okay, do I want to redo that? Do I want to keep going on this path, or do I want to rise to a higher calling? I feel like there is a higher calling that you guys are being called to at the beginning of this month. And maybe this is what you've built this strategy around, or will be building a strategy around for some. I think you're getting something positive, some sort of positive recognition, but I do kind of feel there's like a bit of hesitancy around, do I want to do that? Do I want to rise to that? Am I ready for that? How will my life be with this? Right? Because this does kind of tie in with this Venus in Virgo of being picky, right? I think some of you guys want to make sure that your day-to-day feels peaceful, right? That you're able to be more selective about how your day runs. Maybe that's a question that you're asking here. And then we move into the Tower. Okay, so there's something about like an old, because the Tower here is in black and white or sepia, whatever. And so we know what this scene is in The Wizard of Oz, right? It's like Dorothy literally gets lifted up from her home. She's dreaming, but she gets lifted up from one place and plopped down into another with more color. But a tornado in particular is something that's going to destruct, like it's going to destroy anything that's in its path. And it's interesting, right? Because the house is not necessarily destroyed here. The house is lifted up into the vortex and it's dropped down as its same structure. So it's giving me this vibe of like something foundational that you guys have built, something foundational about you, your situation, maybe it's even your work for some of you. It's like getting picked up in this chaos and it's getting put down somewhere else. Okay? This is the old thing though. There's something new here. There's something new here that you guys are being called to with this Sun in Leo. Closing us out with the Two of Pentacles, which has to do with juggling, weighing options, balancing things. There could be something about wherever you guys end up going, whatever decision you end up making, where you feel like you're juggling both things at once, the new thing and the old thing. Maybe if you guys stay in this Tower energy, where you're kind of in an old space, but being sort of lifted up into whatever is happening with the chaos here, or the rebuild, or the destruction of something, like there could be this element of I have to juggle things here. Now I want to pull a card for your career because I'm very curious about what this is. Some of you guys could be moving too with the Tower, with the house here. It could be that you're being asked to move or relocate, or you're deciding to move or relocate. What else, Spirit, for Group 3? What do they need to know about their career this month, please? Offerings. You will be offered a new position or investment opportunity. Think about it and research it carefully before accepting. That's exactly what I feel. I think you guys are being selected for something. and offered something new, but I feel like you're not sure if you want to take it. So there's something about you needing to be more strategic about this. It's not a clear yes, group 3. It's not a clear yes that I see. It's calling to you, but there's something about it, and I think there's something about it with these coffee grounds that's going to feel really like reviving to you in some way. But there's definitely something where you need to dig in a little bit more. I feel you're feeling like you need to dig in a little bit more before you accept. And at the bottom of the deck, we do have guidance. Divine forces are showing you the way to go. You're discovering another piece of your destiny and your purpose in life. So really, you guys, trust your intuition, right? Trust your intuition, because your gut instincts are telling you what's right and what's not. And maybe that's part of like why you're needing to get outdoors a bit, is just to kind of like decompress and recenter, get connected to your higher self. I feel like if you guys end up staying where you are, there's going to be big change, right? I think with the tower here, I think regardless, wherever you guys are currently in your life, the energy has gotten stale or stagnant for you, or it's old or outmoded. There's something that's going to shift it. That's going to push you out of a comfort zone. And I don't think it's going to be like everything you've ever known is taken away, because the house is still here. But I think you're going to be moved to a different sort of environment with the tower. Maybe even possibly moving or relocating homes. Okay. So let's look at love life, group 3. What does group 3 need to know about their love life, please, Spirit? We have intuition. The red flags you ignore now will come back to bite later. All right, so listen to your intuition, you guys, whether it's people with lovers or career or whatever this is. Trusting your gut is a core theme that we're seeing multiple times here in this spread. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and clear the cards off. We're going to get into charms and dice, and I want to see what more specifics we can drill down into for your month ahead. All right, group 3, I'm so excited to see what we get for your charms. So let's see, group 3. What else does group 3 need to know, Spirit, about their month of January? Okay. So we've got waxing gibbous. There's like big changes coming, I feel, with this air element being here. We have the first house, we have Pisces, we also have Venus here. This one's not really landing anywhere, so let's get some charms to accompany this, Spirit. So for group 3, what do they need to know about January? All right. So we've got the little swan. This goes here. Okay. So I feel like with the career stuff, there is something that you're being asked to sort of push through or solidify or commit to. And with Pisces here, again, I feel like there's something about it that doesn't feel fully clear, right? Pisces is trusting your intuition. It's deeply spiritual. Maybe spiritual work is a part of what you guys are moving into this month, or a component of it. But remember, we kept getting a lot of these messages about listening to your gut instinct, right? And Pisces is sensory. It's intuitive, but it's kind of not contained. It's mutable water. So it's probably really hard for you to make a decision about something that's mutable water, that's slipping through your fingers. It's just making me feel like whatever this is for your career that you're asking to solidify, being asked to solidify, commit to, this offer that you're getting, there's just more questions that you have that you want to ask here. Or you're going to have to be committing to something that maybe isn't the most structured or built, right? It's mutable, it's fluid, it's ever changing at this particular moment in time. And maybe that's why you guys have some reservations, or you're kind of questioning it at this point, okay? Now, in finances and wealth, we have some cool stuff here. We've got the first house and we have the cat. So the first house is the house of self. So this has to do with you, your physical body, independence. And with the cat being here, The cat also talks about independence. So I think that whatever you're being offered is going to come with money that helps you guys feel more independent financially, or allows for more flexibility and agility financially for you, with the cat being here. So that could be part of what's drawing you to it as well. The air element is here. This talks about intelligence, but it also talks about igniting change. I just think whether you guys choose to move forward with what you're being offered or not, there's going to be big change coming, right? Like this wind is here in the tower. It's here at the heart of this charm board as well. So things are changing, things are moving, things are going to be happening really, really fast. I don't say that to scare you. I'm just letting you know. Whether you take the opportunity that's offered or not, things are going to be swiftly changing in your field, in your physical space, or just your energetic space. Okay. I want to skip down over here into home and family for a moment, because I'm thinking of the house image that we had seen in the tower. Okay. And so we've got this moon and stars, and then we have the elephant. So elephants have to do with community. So I feel like for some of you guys, this is actually really beautiful, and I'm seeing some really nice things here with social life too. There's something about what changes are coming that I think is going to be really beneficial to your home base, your family. Some of you guys might be in a position where people adore you. I think of that saying, hung the moon and stars, where people think really highly of you. You're surrounded by community physically where you live. That's really positive for you. I think connected to the changes that you're making, especially for those of you that end up relocating. If you're not relocating, that may not apply as strongly for you, but if you are going to be relocating, if the changes require you to physically move houses, this is positive energy that I see for the change. We also have some positive stuff here under social life and others, right? So whether you're shifting career or shifting location, whatever, we have Venus and we have this navigation home. Venus is beautiful, right? This is the energy of harmony, relationships, love. You guys could be navigating through some new circles, whether it's new social circles, work circles, community-based circles, right? Some of you guys might be even meeting a partner, a romantic partner in those circles as well as you're navigating through this change. So all the change that I see in your tarot, you guys, seems very positive, but I think there's still some fluidity for you in terms of having the free will to choose. We also have the waxing gibbous moon here. So this talks about learning new things, and this is coming up in love and partnership. So there is something connected to love and partnership, a soul connection this month, where I think you will be learning new things. Now, again, this could come through a romantic partner. This could come through a work connection for some of you, but something about your partnerships is expanding. You're navigating through meeting new people, and you're going to be learning more through other people, through your soul connections here. Closing us out under health and well-being, we have the clothespin and we have the strawberry. So the clothespin talks about securing and holding something down. The strawberry talks about spring, okay? So spring is like fresh starts. There's some sort of fresh start to your health and well-being this month. Maybe you guys are securing down like a new fitness routine, a new diet routine with the strawberry being here. Maybe you're going plant-based or eating more fruits or something like that. I also think, though, this is spirit saying the spring season could bring about more of the culmination of this change. So even though I feel like things are going to be moving really quickly around you, group 3, the spring season, I think, is when things start to really solidify in terms of like, this is your new path, this is your new day-to-day, this is the new routine for your health and well-being. So just kind of bear that in mind as a potential timeline for you. This looks really interesting, group 3. Please comment below. Let me know what you guys are navigating through and what your plans are for the month of January. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next reading really soon. Bye.